Hey guys, this is Tom Hanks. Welcome to another stream. Today we are going to be doing some car reviews in automation and BeamNG. Um, hey Fan and hey Carlo, how are you guys doing today? Sorry for that. By the way, is the audio good? I didn't ask this yesterday on the Force Friday stream because I am on my new rig now. Had some problems yesterday streaming Forza, but I'm pretty sure it's GPU related, and that's why I ordered a new GPU today. Hey Caligo, how's it going? It's good? Okay. What's my setup? Well, the GPU is still the old one. It's a GTX 970, which is like, whoa, okay, now that is way too loud. The GTX 970 is about 4 years old. I'm gonna swap that out soon for a RX 580, for an AMD RX 580, which I just ordered. Okay. Okay, there we go. Did you fix the DRR or are you still away from your PC? I didn't find a way to fix the DRR. But anyway, apart from the GTX 970, I now have an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, which has been performing awesome so far. Then I have 32 gigs of RAM, which are Corsair Dominator at 3000 megahertz. And I have a Samsung 500 gigabyte 970 EVO M.2 SSD along with a 6 terabyte Seagate Skyhawk HDD for the larger files. And yeah, what else? I don't know. Am I missing some mods? Perhaps I'm missing some mods. Oh well. Okay. So here, the Alfa Romeo F6 Stradale, which was, I think, by Random 41, right? There were a lot of submissions since I last did reviews. No, it's actually by Carlo, okay. Let's see. So this is a concept for what a future Alfa Romeo supercar would be like. By the way, bringing this up again. Okay. Okay. That looks nice, actually. That looks very alpha-ish. I like that. I like these two huge vents here. And the headlight arrangement. Could maybe use some like LED fog lights here or something. But apart from that, it's a really cool design. I like the exhaust here. The little spoiler going all across here. Yeah, that's very alpha. I like this. Now for the engine, 6-liter twin turbo Boxer 6 is not really what Alpha would build. Like, there's no connection to... there's no connection to anything that Alfa or Ferrari would build with this 6-liter Boxer 6. So, like, where did you get the inspiration from for that? Alfa used to make Boxers. Really, when? Alpha 33. That had a Boxer engine? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, I was thinking of the 33 Stradale, but instead it's just a regular, you know, Alfa Romeo 33. Okay. Right, so they could bring one of them back, but at the same time, a 6-liter Boxer 6 seems like something that they probably wouldn't build in 2020, I have to be honest. But still, it's a cool idea. It makes a lot of torque, basically all the way through the ref range, ever since 2900 RPM. This could rev 500 to 750 RPM more. Yeah, but the hardware isn't there to support it, shall we say. And the pistons and conrods are maxed out at 7500 RPM, which is where the red line is. Why not? Well, think about it this way. Usually when Alfa makes a V6 these days, like think of the Giulia QV for example, it's a Ferrari with Ferrari V8 with two cylinders chopped off. Wait, the units are wrong. This is the first time like actually getting into automation on this new rig, by the way, so the units are messed up. But yeah, like for example with the I'm Italian, I know what I'm doing. I could just make it a 180 V6. I mean, they could, yeah. Let's go back here. Newton meters. Oh, so it's 911.8 horsepower. So that's a lot. We get a 0 to 100 time of 2.5 seconds, which is likely going to be faster in BeamNG. It's all-wheel drive. We get sports compound tires with 20-inch alloy rims. We've got carbon brakes, which are more than strong enough. Lots of downforce. With a sport interior and luxury heads-up display. See, that is probably also something I'd go premium heads-up display with an Alfa supercar. Alfa Romeo has never been like the very high end. Of course, like you have Ferrari for that, right? And especially now that both companies belong to Fiat. I mean, I don't know, like I like the idea, I like the design of this thing, but some choices don't make a whole lot of sense to me personally. Just look at the 8C. Yeah, okay, it came out in a time where there was also on the Ferrari 599, right? So That's my point, really. Like, they can have cool cars on the market for sure. Like the 8C was, well, it was cool. It wasn't the greatest car on, you know, on a mechanical level, but the idea is a hyper luxury kind of car. Okay. Well, it doesn't do particularly well in luxury premium or in GT premium. It does do well in hyper. And it weighs nearly 1600 kilograms. It does not quite do 200 miles an hour, which would be 322 kilometers an hour. I'm sure you could do something about that with tweaking the downforce. Or adding, you know, one more quality point here to aerodynamics, but the style is there, the power is there. At top speed kinda isn't, but this is probably gonna perform quite well on the racetrack. British later and something is meant to mock British cars from the... okay. And to mock British cars from the 60s and 70s as they were really bad. Yeah, the interior on the Giulia is nice, but at the same time, I'd still rather have a C-Class interior, right? Then again, I'd rather have the Giulia's exterior and driving experience, but the interior, you gotta give that to Mercedes, in my opinion. Well, this strikes out to me immediately, this sort of deformation here. The central tablet in the C-Class is bad. I've never personally had the opportunity to use it, so I can't really judge. But generally, I mean, overall I think the C-Class has a very nice interior. This car looks, well... I mean, it's supposed to be a mock at British cars from the time, but do not forget that the UK manufacturers in this period of time, actually, well, not in 74, earlier than that. Like in the 60s, they had the Lotus Esprit. No, Lotus Elan. Yeah, Lotus Elan. Which one was the one in the 60s? The Elan or the Esprits? I think it was the Elan. That one was actually really cool, though. .44 horsepower, 56 pound-feet. It's 1.2 liter inline 3, single overhead cam. .44 horsepower, naturally aspirated, of course. Fuel injection, huh? Interesting. Okay. Very sensible engine tuning, though, for like everyday scenarios. It idles at 1100 RPM. That's weird. Their sports cars are okay-ish, but their mass-produced ones are shite. Like, as far as mass-produced British cars go, you mean like the MGs and the Rovers? Yeah, those are mostly pretty bad. The Land Rovers I've always thought to be actually pretty decent. I don't know if you count Jaguars as mass-produced cars. I mean, Jaguars are their own kind of thing, aren't they? Like, I see them, in a very similar camp to like Maseratis, where they're really good. They're really like pleasant to drive and everything, but at the same time, you know, the reliability is questionable at best. Anyway, what gearbox is this? 4-speed manual. Okay. Although the Lagonda is the best looking car ever. The Aston Martin Lagonda? I mean, there's something to be said about it, but it is certainly not everyone's favorite. Yeah. Okay. 43 horsepower. I'm not gonna. Well, 21 seconds, 0 to 100 time. Pagani Huayra? Something to be said about that as well, yeah, definitely. For me, I don't know, man. Like, there's so many great looking cars. And I've seen a lot of them in real life as well, because I've been to some local like sports car meetups as a viewer, sadly. But man, there's so much choice when it comes to best looking cars. Yeah, just go ahead and take a look at the Huayra in real life. Good luck finding one. Anyway, this is a Carson. There's the Carson V8. Let's see. That one was by Hybridtronic. Okay. So that's an 80s hatchback, customized in 2018, with a 3.2 liter V8 all-wheel drive. It's really heavy though. How does this thing weigh 1700 kilograms? Does it have like luxury interior? Premium. Oh, and plus 10 quality. Oh goddamn, that's why it's so heavy. In Italy, in the Bologna zone, it's pretty common. They test them on the roads. Okay, fair enough. If you live there, sure, you're gonna see them in person, I would imagine. Here, you know, in Austria, in our local town, where the well, in the next closest town to where I live, we have 2 Porsche dealerships, so you can imagine that you actually see at least 1 or 2 Porsches every single day there. And not counting those in front of the dealerships, of course. You see Porsches everywhere, yeah. If that's your thing. Let's check out this engine, because this is what this car is all about. That lag, the turbo lag, dude. This engine does nothing until about 5,000 RPM, but then, you know, it also drops off harshly at like 9,500 RPM. It doesn't actually make a crazy amount of boost. 1.4 bars. You actually see that in in the AMGs today. .7 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. Over 200 miles an hour top speed. It is really powerful, but I imagine it's gonna struggle putting the power down. What do we have? 250s front, 280s rear. Gearbox is a 5-speed sequential. Yeah, and this has a lot of quality everywhere as well. So this is very yeah, that's 4 ones in a row. So 221,000 with no markup. Have you tried Bulgarian yogurt? Nope. I don't remember ever seeing it in our stores, unfortunately. I've tried Greek yogurt. Is it anything like that at all, or? I've also tried skyr, which is like the Icelandic thing. That's sort of yogurt-esque. There's a bacteria that only grows here and it makes the yogurt very different. Okay. Okay, there's the second take on the DRRE, I guess. 700 horsepower still from the same 2.3 liter inline 5. What changed? The tires are much smaller. It's got an electric diff. Still all-wheel drive. Lactobacillus bulgaricus. I've had Latin at school actually, so I could pronounce that. One seat, of course, no interior whatsoever. Yeah, well, we'll have to see how this, if this works at all in BeamNG, and if it does, it could actually be pretty fast, assuming it doesn't flip over. But as far as best looking car ever, I mean, I don't know, man. There's too many very beautiful cars. Like, Aston Martin DB9 is up there for me. That is, in fact, one of the most beautiful cars I have ever seen, both on the internet and in real life. It's just, it's stunning. What else would be up there for me personally? I don't know if you guys would agree, but it's the Ferrari F12. That's another one for me. There's the Gem Luxem Trim 69 Family 99 Variant 93. It's a very memorable name. My GT6 Hill Climb Challenge car, I don't remember it actually. Been too long. So this is, well, he didn't, this is from Mr. Johnny. He didn't say anything about this this car really. It looks to be a 1997 luxury car that started out in 85, so it's kind of outdated by 1997 standards. In looks. In terms of looks, at least. Door handles are too modern for 97? I don't think so. Oh, it's a turbocharged 7.6 liter V12. Now, I don't know, like a 7.5 liter twin turbo V12 just seems excessive, doesn't it? When you only make 453 horsepower, you could make that from the same engine when it's naturally aspirated, and all that this torque really gives you is more wheel spin because the car can't put it to the ground. That's my opinion on this anyway. Also, you would of course get a much smoother torque curve with a naturally aspirated engine. Okay. So in this we have a 5-speed advanced automatic. We have with an open diff, we have medium compound tires, which are 255s up front and 235s in the rear. This is actually all-wheel drive. Drop my hill climb car in again if you want to re-examine. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at it again. Because I think we've been through it before with the reviews, but I could certainly give it another look. No under tray, 5 seats, handmade interior and luxury CD, so it is a luxury sedan indeed. Therefore we also have hydro pneumatic springs and a very high ride height. Very comfort oriented suspension tuning here. It definitely looks more like late 70s, early 80s than like late 90s. But 5 seconds 0 to 100 is actually quick. And again, I reckon you could do that with the same car if the engine was naturally aspirated. So yeah, that is the one thing I don't quite get on this car. It doesn't need the turbos. Is my point of view there. So what do you guys think of the Ferrari F12? It's ever since it launched, it has been like one of my absolute favorite cars ever. I prefer it to the 812, which is, you know, even faster and crazier, but I don't think it looks as good. And also, like, if 740 horsepower in the F12 wasn't enough for you, then 800 horsepower won't do it for you either, in my opinion. 550 and 575 look way better. Alright, so you prefer the more classic Ferrari GT look? Oh, this car is broken. Yeah, this car is broken. Now I know what the new Corvette is imitating. Yeah, I mean, the Corvette has always been sort of kind of imitating the Ferrari front engine Ferraris for the last couple of decades, hasn't it? Like the The C6 looked like the 550, right? And 575. Then the one before, the C5, you know, looked very similar, of course. And then, and before that, the C4, well, that was kind of its own thing. It didn't look like a Ferrari, I have to admit. Just have to click everything once apparently for it to work properly. Okay. Still something's not right here. Okay. I think we sorta got it. Kind of. Also, this car doesn't have headlights. It's probably also a bug, but I don't know. Yeah, this car has also all kinds of visual bugs. Anyway, let's see what the car actually is. That's a good point. Let's see actually in the Steam workshop if I'm missing some headlights. Probably have to go online on Steam again, right? Okay. No, I actually have everything. The newest mod they added was the lawnmower, and I have that, and I downloaded everything else. So what I imagine happened, I think it's more of a similar formula, similar results. You can only get good aero with the same shape, the same size V8 or V12 in the yeah, okay, but then why are they also copying like the general headlight look and the, you know, both had like round taillights, like for example, especially between the 575 and the C6, you know, it's like there's just too many similarities in my opinion. And so what I imagine happened here is that Mr. Johnny potentially has an old build of the game where a specific headlight fixture was still a mod, and in the meantime with the updates they removed some of the mods and turned them into vanilla fixtures. You know what I mean? So he might be on an old build and I have all the updates, so the fixture that should be on here would be a vanilla fixture, but we don't know which one. Anyway, this is a 5-liter twin-turbo V8 in 2012. Again, a relatively like laggy turbo setup and just a torque spike and then it drops off. he likes to tune his turbo engines this way. Apparently, I've seen that a few times. Okay, so this is again like more like a luxurious car, it seems. We've got a 6-speed dual clutch transmission and open diff, again all-wheel drive. We got some turn-in oversteer. Six piston vented discs on the front, 3 piston vented discs on the rear, and 3 seats in the back and 2 in the front, makes 5 in total. And then sport interior and premium infotainment, variable electric power steering, launch control actually, which is cool, active sport suspension. And yeah, this does fairly well in GT, although you could do a lot better. 4.6 seconds 0 to 100 is quick. The weight is really killing it though, like... How is, like... This is an aluminium monocoque and partial aluminium panel body, like... How does this weigh 2066 kilograms? It's just... Oh, that's the 3.1 meter wheelbase version, that's why. Okay. Well... We're gonna drive it in Beam. I don't have the highest of expectations for it, but... you know, we'll see. Oh, also, I think most of you have heard this by now. The next generation Corvette is supposedly gonna be a mid-engined. Any guesses what it would look like? My mower had 600 horsepower at one point, but it broke, so now it's got 300. That's still way too much for a mower, though. This is a 1.5 liter inline-5, 270 horsepower. Whoa! Huge amount of boost here. And then a steep drop off right afterwards. How does this work? Oh, okay, max boost. And then very small compressor and turbine. Okay. It runs on 100 octane fuel. So every time you wanna actually refill the fuel on your refill your lawnmower, you gotta go to your next Shell and give it some Shell V power. That's funny. Seven-speed dual clutch, all-wheel drive, of course, manual locker. Mid-engine Corvette incoming. Yeah. VM Petroleum. Carbon fiber rims on this one, huh? 295s is like carbon ceramic disc brakes. Like with all this quality everywhere, like how much is this mower gonna cost? $74,000 with no markup, and he would sell this for a 30% or 30% at least. Markup probably more like 40%. So either way, we're looking at like $100,000 mower. First of all, who's gonna buy this mower? That's my first question. But secondly, like, I think this is gonna flip over. You? Me? Like, I don't know, man. First, I wanna virtually test drive it in BeamNG just to see if it would kill me in real life. Then I can still decide whether I wanna actually buy it. Yes, it will, but it doesn't break the axles on spawn. Okay, at least something. There's also a race inline free. With 249 cc and 42.7 horsepower, which is very impressive for the size of the engine. But look at that! Almost makes it look like an open wheel sort of race car. Yep, all the rim offset. I don't know, this might, like, if this works, it might actually be handled decently well, but I think it would probably need wider tires. Actually, no, it doesn't, because it only makes 42 horsepower. 1.3 G, that's pretty good. It's got the brakes in the middle, yeah. It's like the H1 Hummer. It's not very much like the H1 Hummer at all. Ah, that's actually a pretty nice curve for the turbo engine, question mark? It's naturally aspirated. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's good. It can take up to like 16,600 RPM, and the crank can even take 17,200. Damn. Okay, now this is gonna be interesting. I think this might actually work. You know, when in comparison to the other mowers that we've had today. Okay, here's a normal car. A TVR is gonna be good. Also, yeah, I saw the thing you posted about it. Like, what if the Russian who bought TVR actually did something? Then you would get the TVR Griffith, which they presented earlier this year. So I guess... Okay, so this is a classic off-roader in 1971. It's got these bolts kind of holding the body panels. I like that little touch. The front end, I'm not the biggest fan of. The rear end is very classic and, you know, very Land Rover-ish, sort of. The Euro was bought by a British company recently, dated to Griffith. Okay, well. So this is a military off-roader. Yeah, it does look like it. It's got a 2.6 liter 894 with 81 horsepower. This could use a few more revs, I think. More like 4,500 maybe. But yeah, other than that, I feel like the car is reasonably tuned, or at least the engine is. 4-speed manual with a 4x4, obviously. That's the ideal choice for that. It's limited to 113 kilometers an hour. Do you have time for another off-roader? We have so many cars to review today. Maybe I might do it tomorrow or next week. I don't know. Yeah, the low revs is on purpose for reliability. I can see that, but how much does the reliability change? Let's see, 49. Okay, 47.3. It does. Actually, oh, it does start knocking there. .6. So between 49 and 48.6, there's not much of a difference, really. But I'll put it back to where it was. It's on low quality fuel, yep. I've seen that. 160mm chunky off-road tires. 15-inch steel rims. 0.52 Gs. That's gonna be interesting. Drum brakes all around as well. So, I mean, I get that it's meant to be cheap and durable. But yeah. We've got basic interior and no entertainment. 4 seats, a standard 60 safety. So this is probably gonna be... Drums are a lot more durable than discs. Yeah, I can get behind that. But I don't know what we'd really do with this in Beam, you know? Drive it off-road, yeah, okay, but there's like steep hills in Beam as well off-road, which this may or may not be able to climb. So that's my concern there. It's super fun off-road, especially up the hills. Okay. Then we've got the Hyojun 8X. It's slow and has crap economy, but it sounds great to drive slam shifting it and takes corners super well. Okay. Let's see. So this is it's a pretty nice coupe. The body is sort of an alpha body, isn't it? The rear lights are super 80s. The wing is not necessarily an 80s style. I would say it's more like 90s style wing, but having a wing on the back of a car like this is very 80s. This has a 2.65 liter V8 actually. Made from aluminium. It's got a direct acting overhead cam. 179 horsepower. You know what? I like round numbers. There you go. 180 horsepower. Naturally aspirated. Multi-point EFI. Race intakes. Okay. Five-speed manual. Gear with the limited slip diff, which means it's gonna drift a lot. Semi-slick tires. Vented discs. No under tray. Only 2 seats. And then no power steering. Gas mounted tube dampers. And the suspension is actually fairly soft. I don't remember putting race intakes on. Well, I don't know, it's too late now, right? But anyway. This doesn't do particularly well anywhere on the market. 6.66 seconds. Also, why is the top speed so low? Well, I guess it only makes 180 horsepower. It should be faster than this. Yeah, it should be faster than that. Oh, but yeah, it has a terrible drag coefficient actually. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, we're gonna see. It's just supposed to be fun in Beam. Yeah, well, we'll see if it actually is. But I imagine it would be. Next there's the Jidosha Power Equip. Ah, so we get our Jidosha lawnmower here. This actually has a realistically set up engine for once. Actually, the engine is, if anything, it's too large for like a real lawnmower, I think. Well, yeah, like 4 horsepower, 9 pound-feet. But I mean, what do you want me to say about this? It's really loud, actually. Free speed auto. 0 to 100 in -1 second. It's actually gonna beat the Bugatti Chiron in a drag race with that. Yeah, the car has extremely strong understeer. I feel like you could put slightly wider fronts on this one, like 105, 115s or something. Drum brakes, of course. Off-road skid tray, 1 seat. No, nothing here. Everything standard. It's a gag car. Okay. It's really light. Less than 400 kilograms, in fact. Patented Chidosha hood scoop too. TVR's got ABS and power steering. Let's say the Russian wanted a more drivable car. Okay. Oh, so that's 2006. So this would be technically the successor to the Sagaris, which is probably my favorite TVR. I really like the TVR Sagaris. Okay, so you really like the turbo inline-5s, don't you? To be honest, I don't think this looks TVR-esque. To be honest with you. It doesn't have enough like slashes and, you know, cuts and edges and, you know, crazy fixture usage. Russians don't like things like fast steering. It is using a Volvo inline-5 to lower research and development costs. I mean, fair on the one hand, but why wouldn't you just use the 4-liter straight 6 that was already in the Sagaris instead? Would be my point. Okay, now this nothing boost, and then it revs to what, 7500? Okay. Too heavy? I don't know. It like with the turbo and the intercooler, this engine isn't much lighter than the 4-liter straight 6 would have been, in my opinion. Like, say the straight 6 would have maybe been at like 180, 190 maybe. And this is at 153. Sure, that's a reasonable difference. But at the same time, the 4-liter straight 6 also gave you 400 horsepower and a much better torque curve. So this has a 6-speed manual, rear-wheel drive, of course, a viscous diff, sports tires, which are 255s up front, 285s on the rear, 18-inch alloy rims, and then 4 piston vented discs all around. Okay, we get some downforce here. 2 seats, basic interior, no entertainment. See, that is something that I feel like is also not TVR-esque. Like, for example, if you take the Cerbera or the Tuscan, or even this Sagaris, like it wasn't luxurious as far as the entertainment goes, but it wasn't basic. Like they had their own sort of unique sort of style in there. It was definitely distinct. It wasn't like completely bare bones. And then no power steering ABS. And then standard 2000 safety. The Tuscan Raider. I don't really know what you mean with the Tuscan Raider. It's meant to be a cheap track car to sell more, okay. It doesn't do extremely well in track and track budget though. And again, I don't think that the styling is TVR enough to really convince people. Like, the styling doesn't convince me anyway. Oh, that was the base version, now that's the track version. Let's check that out. New chapter in TVR history. Well, okay. Still a pretty non-TVR-esque front. But the huge rear wing, the quad exhausts. Again, the lights are kind of conservative. They're not as eccentric as TVR would have been. And the engine now makes 652 horsepower, and it's all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive. Now that TVR wouldn't have done. Like, I feel like no matter what, they would always go rear-wheel drive because, you know, it's just such an integral part of what makes a TVR that I feel like they would never do all-wheel drive like this just for a better performance. It's undrivable with rear-wheel drive. I can understand, yeah, but so like literally every TVR until like the 80s or early 90s was basically nearly undrivable. They always had more power, way more power than they should. Try it, Claude, and make it rear-wheel drive. Should be drivable, but could easily work as a plane. Make a car for Tom. Forget to send in car. Before the coming week in Parliament for the Youth Parliament. Welp. Like, first of all, hey there, how are you doing, man? Secondly, like, I'm gonna be streaming again next week, so you know, probably gonna be streaming some automation and BeamNG car reviews again next Saturday. So if you're there, great. If you're not, then the VOD will still go up on YouTube, so you can watch it later. We got semi-slick tires all around, alloy rims, 400mm brakes. But you can't wait for a week. I mean, we have so many cars to review today, man. Like, it's just... Oh, this only has one seat as well. Advanced safety, active sport springs, semi-active dampers. TVR made 1,000 horsepower V12 rear-wheel drive in year 2000, so it should be rear-wheel drive. So you mean the TVR Speed 12? That I believe was like 780 horsepower, not 1,000. Last week when my cars were tried in automation, but Cerberus. Yeah, like the Speed 12 was based on the Cerberus. Yeah, indeed. And I actually have that car in the Forza Horizon 4. Broke a dyno that was rated to 1000 horsepower. Okay. That's fun. It's always fun when that happens. No, it was close to 1000 horsepower. They never declared the power. Okay. That will explain why it was briefly... Actually, no. Wait, that was earlier, though. That was earlier, I think. That was earlier than 2000, I think. Was it like 95, 94, maybe? I'm gonna Google it. Oh, actually in 97, okay. Last but not least, the Gem 95 Web. You got to get out of the way. The Speed 12 is the king. Oh, okay. Now this is a large car. And a convertible at that. 1985. I do like the real like fog light array. Like the not the rear fog light array, it's the fog light array down here on the front. Like the rear end is kind of plain. Like I feel like it could use a little bit extra something. Like if you put the lights down here and then include like a little bit of plastic trim, it would go a long way. Does it taste like a banana? Probably. Let's check out the engine. Oh boy. Okay. So that's a 9.6 liter V12 with dual overhead cams, 48 valves. Revving to 7,000 RPM. Okay. Also leaded fuel in 1985. Or 1995 even. Reasonable engine, I would say. Yeah. Totally. It's also all-wheel drive, yeah, of course. And it will not reach 300 kilometers an hour, only 299.8. What a shame. I felt like it was gonna be faster. Anyway, 305mm tires up front, 290s on the rear, 19-inch alloy rims. With plus 15 quality, of course. And then 400mm size brakes. It is like no cats, lung cancer, and power drifting. 5 seats, premium interior and entertainment. Electric power steering, TC and ABS. Standard 90 safety. Corners at 1.18G. Active sport suspension. And pretty stiff suspension at that. The one problem that this has is the weight. 2,551 kilograms. Yeah, and the second problem it has is the price. Yeah, like, I don't know, it'll still be interesting to see how this drives in Beam. Does it come with an ashtray or is the car itself a drivable ashtray? I don't know what you're getting at with that. I don't get the joke. There's an airlock to the exhaust in the passenger compartment for the ashes. Anyway, that was all for the automation part. Now we'll head over to BeamNG. Advanced smoking culture. I'll send the car anyway, that way I won't forget it. I've seen some good cars. Fuck the vape. Smoke a good natural cigar, I guess. So let's drive the Alfa Romeo concept car. That'll be interesting. Also, wait, I'm gonna lower the in-game sounds of Beam a little bit. It's too loud for me at this moment. While I'm doing this, what I wanted to say is I've had some problems streaming Forza yesterday. So like the game just closed itself a couple of times. So I hope Beam doesn't do the same thing. And I believe the problem was the GPU yesterday, because Forza is obviously very heavy on the GPU. As a real alpha is usually loud. Yeah. This should have more downforce than it has. Like a real alpha steers towards a wall. I mean, that's the stuff of a Mustang, isn't it? Like, I wish I could test them myself here. Yeah. Like, the car is too nervous. Either the front tires are too wide or the rear ones are too narrow. Yeah, that was just the slightest amount of steering input, and it rotated completely. Yeah, bigger rear tires would definitely help on this one. Okay, and I don't get why it understeered there. I was ready for some, you know, turn and oversteer like it did previously. I don't know how it didn't do it there. Welcome back, Lada fan. You never was able to park it outside either. Yeah. Exhaust would get water all in them. I feel like they should make a cover for the exhausts, so that that doesn't happen. British Leyland something. What about McLaren? Yeah, right, the Senna, or the Porsche 918, of course. Like on industrial machines. Forgets to take exhaust covers off. Stratosphere. That metal flap. I feel like we should drive this in the city instead of on the track. Probably. Next up, the Carson V8. Yeah, so this thing is gonna be crazy. It doesn't have the greatest braking performance though. Let's try again. And it's wobbly. It has a surprising amount of body roll. Already the brakes are fading. Yeah, so this definitely needs some better brakes. This is just kind of wobbling around as well, which is weird. Because when you look at this, you would think that it's probably like super stiff and, you know, tight and, you know, all those things, but it isn't. Gotta brake early because the brakes are gonna go. Yep. Yeah, okay. Could use some optimization. The engine is crazy, but this needs better brakes and it needs a revised suspension setup for sure. Gonna take this to a drag strip, so I'm not gonna drive it here. So next up would be this thing. If you want stiff, wait until you get on the mover I sent. The mower. Non-suspension. Yeah. I know what you mean. So this, we said that this car actually weighs like 2,500 kilograms. It doesn't feel that way. Like, it brakes decently well. It doesn't feel heavy through the corners either. And of course with like a 9.6 liter V12 it doesn't feel slow in the straights either. So despite this thing being massive and very heavy, I guess there's one area where you do feel the weight is under braking. Yeah, I was full on the brakes there and they just went. But anyway, this, I guess the one criticism that I had in automation still applies, and that is that this thing is very, very heavy. Yeah, I was literally saying a second ago, dude, the brakes aren't actually that bad, and then, yeah, they just faded. I'm gonna drive this one here, because this one might actually work. The other one, I feel like can only work on the drag strip anyway. Did this break? No, it didn't. The brakes are fading already after stopping from 2 kilometers an hour. This might be sitting too low. Actually, wait, what? Yeah, I think it's sitting too low, this car. Yeah, car. Yeah, this is not a race mower because It literally can't go around the corner. Okay. Imagine actually sitting on that while that happens. Wait, is that the race version or did I just grab the wrong one? Ah, so the inline 3 was the one that was actually tuned for. Ah. Dude, were it not for the stuttering under braking because of the mower blades or whatever, this would actually look quite a lot like a go-kart. This actually works. Of course, there's a lot of bumping around during braking, but that should be the next mod on Steam. A go-kart, yeah. I think the wheels are farther apart than the wheelbase is long. Top speed is 128, that's respectable for a lawnmower. I'm full on the throttle, by the way, it doesn't go any faster than this though. So this is... So as far as lawnmowers go, this is going to be the fastest one around the track, because it's also going to be the only one that's going to make it around the track. I'm going to put this in BeamNG's repository. Braking extremely late, of course, because this thing weighs nothing. Do you see, like... Wait, let's stop here, actually. The brake is coming loose from the freaking axle when you're turning hard. Okay. Somehow it reattaches afterwards. Oh yeah, Caligo, yours is also gonna make it around. The disc comes off the caliper, yeah. Also the rear brakes are cooking just from holding the brakes while standing still. Anyway, this actually works around the track. And just so we have the comparison, let's actually get in this right away. That's a bug, yeah. So is that. Dude, how cool would it be if if you could actually cut the grass in these lawnmowers in BeamNG? Like if you would go across the lawn and it would actually cut it and leave like a trail where you've been driving, that would be really cool. But I doubt that's gonna happen. Anyway, guys, we've been trying to get to 100 kilometers an hour. As you can see in the top area, we've been trying to do it for like the last 80 seconds. We're at 30. The gears on gears, there's selectable speeds for mowing. Yeah, I know. That's how it is on a lot of mowers as well. Like on the ones, like on the one we have at home. So but I guess the good thing about this mower is the good thing about driving this around the automation course is that you can go anywhere flat out. You don't need to use the brakes ever. Onto the long straight, 45 kilometers an hour. 46. 47. I'm gonna stay in third until it goes downhill. Oh, it doesn't have a fourth gear. Gotta actually slightly brake, otherwise the engine is gonna overheat. Like, I don't know why, but this feels kind of like you're gonna put a piston through the block. This feels like GTA San Andreas in the old times, where sometimes you would just go around places in a really, really slow vehicle for no reason whatsoever other than to just kill time, right? Anyone else remember that? Yep. At least it's faster than walking. Yeah, fair enough. It's faster than cycling as well. 2 to 3 grand for this. That's what you'd pay for a moped as well, for a new one anyway. It does get like 40 mpg though, yeah. My drag CX3 with for 24 is gonna smoke it. Guys, we're almost done. Only like another minute until we hit the start and finish line. Oh boy, we might have to shift into second for this one. First even. Come on, you can do it. Yes, we did it. Is this faster than the one Lada clone thing that died when idling? I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, let's get to this thing. Drag is a Bulgarian bike company that is named after its creator, Dragomir. Oh, okay. What do you do in a spare time? I watch a guy drive a mower. Yeah. Like, you can... If you were to put me into a 10-lap race and I would have to go on that mower, you as a viewer would actually have to spend a significant amount of time watching that. You would have to be dedicated. Oh no, there's the understeer. Automation craft and now Boxsplat crashed too. Boxsplat crashed? How is that possible? I'm actually really surprised that this this PC now, now that it like had problems streaming Forza. I'm surprised that today's stream is going really well. Still don't really know what caused the issues with the game just with Forza just closing itself yesterday. It could also be software. It might not be the GPU. It could also be software. But what software, right? Like it's a Windows. It's a brand new system. Windows has been freshly installed, and it's an actual, non-pirated license. And all the latest drivers are installed, the latest BIOS, whatnot. Like I don't know what software would be causing it. And of course, Forza has also been fresh installed, because when you carry over the drive from one PC to another and try to play Forza, you can't. You have to re-download it and reauthorize it, because it's Microsoft. It's not like Steam, where you can just carry your hard drive over with your entire Steam library, plug it in, sign into Steam, and go. Man, this car understeers hard. The last car did also understeer quite a bit, but this one is Audi levels of understeer. Well, like 90s and early 2000s Audis. And mid 2000s, I guess, as well. Still, like the new ones, especially the RS models, don't really understeer that much anymore. But boy, was it bad in the past with them. This is Audi levels of understeer. This is. He said this is supposed to be a. He was don't understand it, just don't drive because of computer errors. Do new Audis really have that many computer errors? Do they? Like I'm not like Audi is one of those brands that I've always like sort of respected, because it's a German premium car manufacturer, but always I've never really liked them as much as BMW and Mercedes. I don't know. They've just always been kind of dull, and would, therefore I haven't been very interested in what has been going on with them. Sure, they do appear in car reviews and whatnot, but this understeers way too much. My favorite car of them is the Audi 80. Okay. My parents actually used to have one of those, the 1.9 liter N94 with, I believe, 115 horsepower. Or was it a 1.8? Why does this look loud? I don't know. I don't know what you mean, actually. This is just an N94 though. with 80 horsepower. I believe it was like a 2.6 liter. Drive it up to the dam. That's what I'm doing. It sort of died there. Man, those tires are skinny. And with the high center of gravity, this is actually prone to rolling over. It's a pushrod engine. I think it's actually direct acting overhead cam, isn't it? Or is this pushrod? Also, I think this has one more thing to prove. Can it get up that mountain? Let's actually do this. It's actually a very low center of gravity thanks to a shit safety interior and cloth top. But it just has extremely high ride height. Oh. I didn't mean to do that. No! That's what I wanted to avoid having happen. Come on. I can't get up on my wheels again. Okay. I've fallen and can't get up. Yeah. That's what happened right there. No, don't shift into fourth gear. Can you do some realistic crashes, please? I don't know what you mean with that, but hey, for a night as play, how are you doing? There's no like traffic in this game, so we can actually answer the question: can this car get up the mountain with yes? Good, good. Yeah, I'm also doing fine. Ouch. Yeah. I watched YouTube videos where you can crash other cars and stuff. In BeamNG, yeah, you can crash cars into pretty much anything. So I'm gonna jump this off the dam as well, but first I wanna get to the bottom and try to get back up. If it can do that, we can still jump. That's the wrong button. No, no way. Okay, and that was that. Oh, now this thing's loud. Yeah, I shifted down to second, but it didn't do it either. You can buy it on Steam. It's called BeamNG.drive. But the cars you're seeing here were built in Automation, the car company tycoon game. That game actually has a feature that allows you to export the cars into this game, BeamNG.drive. So if you're looking to buy both of them, so that you can build your own cars and drive them, then you're looking at, I believe, around $25 for each of them, so $50 in total or something along those lines. This car actually behaves very well. Is this all-wheel drive? That's it, dang, I'm gonna buy them. Okay. Enjoy them. Have fun. Front engine, rear drive? Oh yeah, this is the one on the semi-slicks, isn't it? With the race intakes. Another one added to the hive mind. Yeah, this one drives pretty well, actually. I like it. Do we have anything else today? Yeah, the TVRs. Let's see. Now, first things first, this isn't loud enough to be a TVR. Yeah, I can like barely hear it at all. From the way it drives, it's pretty good though. Sure, it likes to step the tail out rather easily, but so does literally every other TVR. This is gonna be interesting because we don't really have a whole lot of... Actually, we do have enough downforce for this. My mistake. Yeah, I like the way this drives. Next up, we're gonna have the all-wheel drive version of this with like 600 something horsepower. I mean, I kind of feel bad for saying this, but this is kind of also... This could use a little bit more horsepower. But let's check this out now. Oh boy, that wing and this angle looks so sick. Brakes are not stopping this very well. Again, this is too quiet. Lower the tire pressure. Why? It's fine. Oh, whoa, it's not fine. Also, the brakes are cold at the start, so, you know, that's gonna have something to do with it for sure. The brake balance is off though, like it tries to oversteer under braking already. You should set it a little bit more to the rear. Like the brake balance is too front biased. Yep, way too front biased. Well, it got the death trap part of being a TVR, right? But for the wrong reasons. Yeah, probably change the brake balance a little bit on this. Otherwise, it's actually not too bad. And now we're gonna go to the drag strip. Oh, here. And see if the two, you know, super powered mowers are gonna work at all. City? Ah, yeah, with that other car, yeah. Gonna go to the city as well. But first, let's see the DRRE. Let's see if this works at all. Nope. Interestingly, the front stayed on, the rears fell off. Like last time, all four wheels fell off. Okay. Okay, so apparently this tarmac is so sticky that this mower can't even go in a straight line without flipping. Up the tire pressure. Okay, let's do that. Unlock the rear, okay. What the hell is happening? Not quite sure what's going on, but we're moving. Okay. We tried. And finally, for our last car review here is going to be the British Leyland thingy. Very smooth so far. Yeah, you didn't see that. I didn't crash. Try climbing up a hill. Okay, we have one here. It will actually do it. Stop in the middle of it and try. Okay. That one's not steep enough. But I'll get to one that is steep enough. Like right here. It actually does it. Only in first gear though. Yep, it did it. Let's check out the suspension treble on these jumps. Very good actually. Soaks out the jumps pretty nicely. Very nice city car actually. Not fast, but it doesn't need to be. Well tuned. So I accidentally made a good car. You made a good city car, yeah. It doesn't understeer much. Rides well. Stops reasonable. Well, actually, let's try the stopping downhill. Make shit car and it actually turned out good. They did the other way around though. Yeah, okay. I mean, even the braking distance isn't that bad downhill here. So like, for an everyday city, sort of small saloon kind of car, for that it's perfectly fine. I can see no real issues with it for that role. Sure, if you want it to be like a family sedan that can also go cruising on the highway, it could use like 30-40 extra horsepower more, but for just doing this, it's completely fine. All right, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I will be streaming again tomorrow. Tomorrow I might actually try something new though. I want to play some Magic the Gathering Arena, and yeah. So I'm gonna see how that goes. Gonna set that up and play a little bit. Next week, of course, Friday is going to be Forza Friday. Saturday is going to be Automation, and depending on how the Magic stream goes tomorrow, I might stream some more next Sunday. So hope you guys enjoyed today, and I'll see you guys next week if you don't want to watch Magic tomorrow. If you do, of course, you're more than welcome to tune in, and hope to see you guys there. I'll announce a new challenge for next week on Monday though. Okay. See you. Have a good one. Bye bye.